I'm Mo Rocca, and I'm excited to announce Season 4 of my podcast, Mobituaries. I've got a whole new bunch of stories to share with you about the most fascinating people and things who are no longer with us. From famous figures who died on the very same day, to the things I wish would die, like buffets. All that and much more. Listen to Mobituaries with Mo Rocca wherever you get your podcasts.
Inspired by the life of the savvy and ambitious Colombian businesswoman Griselda Blanco comes a new Netflix original limited series. Griselda tells the story of a devoted mother who, with her lethal blend of charm and relentless savagery, creates one of the most powerful cartels in history. Witness Sofia Vergara's captivating transformation into the godmother of the underworld. Griselda, now streaming only on Netflix.
Barenaked, 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 ABCs.
Welcome to the Barenaked ABCs, where we discuss every single Barenaked Ladies song from 7 to Y. We talk about the girls, whether they're babes or they're total ladies or, just somewhere in between, like a girl. This week we're talking about the girls, the material girls specifically. But we only have me and Jeff with us tonight. Jeff, welcome.
Hello, everyone. How you doing tonight?
And I'm not.
Yes, just us tonight.
We don't have any girls with us tonight.
We have no girls tonight.
No, nope. I wish we'd had Allie, but no Allie.
Yeah, it would be good to get her perspective on this one.
It would.
It would have been good.
But we don't have Allie or Michelle, but so be it. We're just gonna have to have men talking about women tonight. So
we'll plow through. We'll make it work.
As tonight we're discussing the song Material Girl. So if you didn't realize, Barenaked Ladies did cover Material Girl. They did it on Barenaked Recess, which was their second tape, and also covered it on Hello City, which was the unofficial disc that was released in 2017 of their 1991 performance in Toronto.
So we have two versions of this in existence.
We don't have any other proof that they played it otherwise, but I do believe that I read somewhere that this was a staple of theirs in concert. They like to kind of just pull this out and play it like when they were kind of going through just to kind of pump up the crowd. So this is one of those.
Now, is that just an early days thing, or do you know if they did that? Did they do that like into the career at all, or
they did do it again later on when they did do all of their songs that they've ever done. So during that Everything to Everyone tour, you can find copies of this song.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not one that they would do. Once they had Gordon out, you don't find them coming back to this.
Right, okay. So an early crowd pleaser, basically.
Early crowd pleaser, one they knew that the crowd liked. And
Look at these young Canadian males doing Material Girl, basically.
Which is
kind of a shock value thing, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's an interesting song for them to pick, because they also chose to kind of keep it the same gender in this song. So they continue to talk about themselves being material girls in this song. So it's kind of different.
What else are you going to do? You have to rhyme with world.
Right. Well, there are some artists that have changed it and done gender change with it, but not many.
Right. Okay.
And this song has been covered by a lot of bands. I mean, it was, of course, one of Madonna's big hits.
Some boys kiss me, some boys hug me. I think they're okay. If they don't give me proper credit, I just walk away.
But it wasn't.
Yeah, one of the big initial hits. Yeah,
it was her second single that was ever released, and it was
so after Holiday. Was it Holiday
third
than
single,
this?
Sorry.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Let me double
Holiday
check that.
Holiday, Borderline, and then this, I think.
I'm gonna double check this. Okay, Madonna's singles. Madonna, yes.
Madonna singles.
All
Madonna.
right, Everybody, Burning Up, Holiday, Lucky
What is happening right now?
Star,
Wow.
Borderline, Like a Virgin, then Material Girl. So we're at
Dear God, I got 2 of them right.
3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this was Madonna's 6th single.
It's a good thing we checked because we would have gotten yelled
Oh
at.
yeah, someone would have come at us for that one.
There'd be a Madonna fan out there to be like, no,
You're way off. You forgot all about these ones. It was the 2nd single off from this album, and I think that's where I got my facts wrong. It was the 2nd single from this particular album, Like a Virgin.
Right. So I was going to say, arguably, this was the song that made her famous, but that's probably not accurate either, because, I mean, if not...
you would be right. So
Like a Virgin didn't do it, though?
No, this is the one... They said that Like a Virgin, and then this one with a really quick follow-up is what made her an icon.
Right.
And also this video...
No. Weird Al parodying Like a Virgin is what made her an icon. Let's give credit where it's due tonight.
Well, okay.
Even she has said that, though. Even she said that.
I will agree with her on that. Because that's about the same time that this single was released. So maybe that's what made this single really explode.
That was like back at the time when they were both kind of forming their separate careers alongside each other, and his Like a Surgeon and her, of course, because that was even before he did. So his Like a Surgeon and her Material Girl coming hand in hand. I mean, that was a 1-2 punch. Yeah.
Well, and okay, so we really want to make sure that we give credit where credit is due again. And I want to make sure I do this right. This was not written by Madonna. This was a song that Madonna sang, but it was written by Peter Brown and Robert Rands. And I looked up their information, and I have not recognized any other songs that they have ever written. This was the big one that really kind of made it that I recognized. But they have written other songs, and I didn't recognize much of their stuff.
He's a stunning looking man, though. Peter Brown.
Well, I've heard Joseph Brown was, he got around quite a bit.
Yeah, Leroy Brown.
This Peter Brown, I don't know. Maybe that's where they got the idea of Joseph Brown.
Yeah, I'm not early on here. I'm not going to tie us up, but I'm not seeing anything offhand that's making me go, no. That song too.
Right, exactly. I went through.
They were the songwriters of our generation.
This was the song that really kind of, I'm sure, made them the money.
Yeah, and still does.
Madonna used to like this song. When she first started, she said this song was indicative of her life, and she really liked it because she felt it was provocative. In her later life, she really didn't like the fact she regrets doing this song because the press then took it and they monikered her as the Material Girl.
Yeah,
and it's actually kind of the opposite of who she is what she kind of said. Like she likes the idea of like women not necessarily just having to fall in love, but at the same time, she's like, yeah, I'm not all about glitz and glamour. That's not who I am.
No, and I think a lot of people could listen to this and realize she's, portraying or describing a character. The same thing happened at the girl song thing, I guess, because I'm actually a big Aqua fan, and Barbie Girl is, the song they're known for, and people go, oh, Barbie Girl. But that happened to them too, because Barbie Girl was clearly meant to portray like a stereotype. It wasn't the person singing "I'm a Barbie girl." It was a stereotype.
Oh yeah,
it was meant to be tongue-in-cheek sarcasm, right. And there again that got missed too. And I think the same thing happened here. I think Madonna wasn't saying this is who I am. She's saying this is a character.
Right. Well, and I think the video also hurt her on that a little bit. Yeah,
that's true.
She made a really great choice with this, which made her famous in that if people don't know the video, this is a 1984 song. And this really is what put, I think, Madonna on that level of icon status because of the video and because of the choices she decided to do with the video, which is with half of the video, she's mimicking Marilyn Monroe from Diamonds Are a Girl Best Friend, which is an amazing choice. You know, she has the look that goes with it. That was the kind of thing that she was trying to portray at the time. It goes with the song. It was really a great choice. However, then the other half of the storyline that got missed was the exact opposite of what this song's kind of singing about. The other part of the song with the storyline of the video is the director wooing the actress, who is played by Madonna, of course. And then the Madonna, the actress, wasn't interested in the money, so he pretended to be poor and then finally got a date with her. So it actually was the exact opposite of what the song was about. And she said that more portrays who she is than the song itself.
Right.
But people miss that. They more...
And she's gone back to that well, too. I mean, you can tell Madonna in her videos is clearly a huge movie fan, because she revisits that with, you know, like Vogue and things like that as well.
Well, and putting herself...
There have actually been studies on her references to movies in her videos.
Well, and putting herself on that level of Greta Garbo and Marilyn Monroe, like, it really put that in people's minds, and they did see her that way.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool, because if you look at the earlier songs that she had out that we were just listing, like Holiday and Lucky Star, like if you think back to that time, you don't think of her as like Marilyn Monroe like at that time. It's not that's not the picture that comes to mind. It's really after Material Girl that you really that kind of starts to come to mind.
And it does work, though, because I've actually been talking about this a lot lately, and I didn't draw the connection. But in a lot of nostalgia, especially in like the movie communities that I'm in, the horror movie communities, it's really popped up a lot talking about. And I think there's a documentary coming out. 1984 has often been called the best year in pop. 1984 is the best year in pop culture, so that she fit into that niche. 1984 is also the year that Thriller came out. 1984 is When Doves Cry, Purple Rain, Eyes Without a Face. I mean, it is the quintessential year as far as, like, you know, you think of the movies that came out. It was the year of Gremlins, Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, Beverly Hills Cop, Nightmare on Elm Street, Never Ending Story. It was like the quintessential geek year, popular year, pop year, culture. It was just a perfect storm, and I think she got in there at a good time too.
Well, and I think
to fit into that,
81 was when MTV started off, but it's not when it really became huge. Thriller, this video, Like a Virgin, like those songs really made MTV huge. And I think 1984 was about that time when all of a sudden it just kind of blew up on the scene in a lot of ways.
It was such a transformation. It was because 1981 to 84, I mean, MTV's original goal was get the weirdest stuff on here we can. It really is. I mean, like you look back and it, as cool as MTV is, that's what they were doing. They were putting the Buggles on there. They were putting Thomas Dolby. When music video became big, it wasn't even about the songs anymore. It was like, put the weirdest thing on Devo, you know, put the weirdest thing on here. I think 84 is one year where you really saw this transformation to, okay, we're going to make this an epic form. I mean, the Thriller video came out in 1984, the 15-minute epic Thriller video. It was just that really, Prince, When Doves Cry, and Purple Rain, and you know, you had movies coming out like Gremlins and Ghostbusters and Indiana Jones. It was such a dynamic year for visual and auditory arts.
Yeah.
You know, you could call out something from the 80s that people love, and there's a good chance it was from 84.
Yeah, or at least around that time.
Around that time period, yeah, right.
That's really when that bubbled.
I'm just stirring up a little controversy here, because I want people to say, no, it was 85. 85 was your Back to the Future came out.
Yeah, but I think Back to the Future was riding that wave of all this other stuff.
It was coming into that, that ice spread.
Yeah, we had 83 with Star Wars, Return of the Jedi. Like, it was building up, but I think that 84 was a really big year. And I think that's the year that MTV really blew up. And I think this song, as well as Thriller, is what did it. Thriller, I mean,
videos. A lot of the videos coming out in this year, and to a certain extent before that, but it wasn't about let's put the weirdest, craziest stuff on TV. Now it was more like, let's tell stories. Let's do something let's wow you with what we're about to do here. Yeah. With just the aesthetic of it and the visual storytelling and every, there was definitely a shift in the tone of what was being put on MTV and VH1, I guess. Would have been around that time too.
Well,
so.
And you mentioned Weird Al, and Weird Al was another person who really stepped it
was right in there too.
Level,
yeah.
Where he's like, his videos are really what kind of brought him a lot of attention and brought him great notoriety during this time.
Well, yeah, because he was parodying, the video, like Eat It is essentially a parody of the Beat It video shot for shot with a little tease to Thriller at the end.
And Ricky,
but I mean,
and like even though they're low budget,
like a surgeon, he's riding on the gurney just like she's riding on the gondola in Venice. I mean, he was like basically showing that the parody in itself was an art form, which paved the way for parody artists for years to come, so that all of us have a chance to become well-known celebrities in our field.
I don't know anyone that might apply to. But
I don't either.
Let's get us back to Material Girl. So Material Girl was a huge success for Madonna. It was riding on the waves of Like a Virgin, but this song in itself was a big success. Reached the top 5 in Australia, Belgium, Canada, Japan, UK, and Ireland. And in the US, it hit the number 2 spot and stayed there for...
Ooh, what kept it off?
Of course you'd ask that.
What was the dynamic powerhouse that kept Material Girl out of the number 1 spot?
To find out, I have to go week by week. That could be a little difficult.
No, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
A lot of number 1s that year.
There were.
And if you're looking at the whole year, this song doesn't even rank in the top 20.
Right.
That being said, like I'm looking at this list and going, "Yep, I know every single one of these songs that's on this list so far, going all the way down to 50."
Oh, I found it.
Did you? Good. What was it?
Well, there were 2 actually that killed her off. "Can't Fight This Feeling" by REO Speedwagon.
Yeah.
And "One More Night" by Phil Collins.
Wow.
Oh man, Phil Collins.
Wow.
Phil Collins kept the Material Girl out of the number 1 spot.
That is unexpected. I would not have guessed that.
Not one of his strongest songs either.
No. Like it must have just come out and the other one like was out before Madonna.
Yeah, I can see "Can't Fight This Feeling." I actually just heard that today, and I forgot how great that song was. But
I would say it's a stronger song than this one.
I would say, yeah. I'm not. If I have a choice between what I'm going to crank up, it's going to be "Can't Fight This Feeling" any day. Yeah.
But this was really, in a lot of ways, one of those anthems for women and for girls at the time. And
sure,
it was a very
and absolutely, and that's to its credit. It's a great song for that.
Oh yeah.
And that's still one of those songs I'm sure gets blasted. Like if it comes on, someone gets up and sings it at karaoke, you're going to get a bunch of people dancing, and large portion of them are going to be women who just really dig this song and really get something out of it.
Oh yeah, I mean it is a empowering. Well, see, this is where I struggle with this song. It sounds like it's an empowering song for women. But really, the message isn't that empowering for women.
No, it makes him. You could say we really got to tread lightly on this one, but you could say that. And I'm not just if it's a female singer. You could, if it was a male singing the same thing, we'd say the same thing. The protagonist, the lead singer, does sound shallow.
Yes.
I'm only in this for the money. I'm only, if you can't,
right.
It's the girl from Forget You, from CeeLo's Forget You.
Right. It's not I want love, it's I want money, which in some ways is empowerment in itself, in that like girls were always in the movies, and I think one of the great ones, for example, is Marilyn Monroe. It was always this like, I want the guy, they were the love interest, and all of that. This is one of those turn their heads like where no, like love isn't all I'm after. I'm after more than just love. And I get the empowerment of that message. But yeah, it does come across as a little shallow in that she's like, money. It's all about money, really. So if you can't give me money, then I'm not interested in you. At the other time,
and then she does turn it around at the end of the song because she goes, "Experience has made me rich, and now they're after me." You know,
And that's empowering.
So it is that part is empowering. It is saying like I did my own work and now I'm rich and now everybody wants me for that. You know, but which does that independence and that strength there.
Well, and the other piece of this that I think is empowering, and I want to recognize this to some extent as well, is that like I get to choose. I'm not something to be chosen. I get to choose who I want to be with. And that is empowering in and of itself. And so I recognize it as well.
Right.
I just think it's
they
done
don't give
on
me what I want or need, then I walk away. Right.
I think it's just done on a very superficial level. There are better girl empowering songs done. Well,
the boy with the cold hard cash is always Mr. Right. Always.
Always. They can be a jerk, but they have cold hard cash, so they're okay.
But the man with the heart of gold that doesn't have a lot of dough, nope. I mean, yeah, you could say it could rub some people the wrong way.
It could. But it was a lighthearted, funny song from the 80s and probably more powerful than any other girl's song at that time that had been written by men. Because again,
that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. And like you said too. I mean, yeah, it could rub people the wrong way, but it shouldn't. I don't think. Not to tell people how to think, but I think it's a joke song. I think it's meant to be like very tongue in cheek and
playful.
You know, and playful. Yeah. It's not meant to offend anybody.
It's like Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, in that it is a playful song meant to be played in a character, and it's meant to be just enjoyed. And that's how I've always
as demonstrated by her, her references to Marilyn Monroe in the video. I mean, she's making a callback. You know, obviously.
But if I have to sit there and break down a song, I'm not going to say it's like, woo, woman power. Like, there are songs that are much more of that. Absolutely. To give credit to those ones that really are. But let's talk about B&L's version of it.
Everybody's living in a material world. I am a material girl. You know that we are living in a material world. And I am a material girl.
Let's talk about B&L's version.
So we don't have Aaron, but I'm going to give what I can. I am not Aaron. So I'm going to give what I was able to find on my own. And that's not a lot. But according to Wikipedia, they did actually a pretty big breakdown on this song. I've never seen them actually break down a song like this, so I wanted to kind of point this out. Madonna's version was done with a tempo of 120 beats per minute and done in C major. And it's a basic chord progression of F, G, E minor, A minor, F, G, and C in the chorus. And the verses, however, are based on a C mixolydian mode to give a hip and swing-like mood. And the bass line of the song has a post-disco origins that's similar to the Jacksons' Can You Feel It? And then, so, it breaks that down pretty good. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
B&L sticks, I think, pretty close to it. I ran it through Song Key Finder. It said that it's an E minor, but I don't think that is correct.
No, I can't hear that being an E minor.
It sounds like it's still in the same key that she sings it in.
Yeah, it still sounds like it's in a minor or a major key to me.
Yeah, I would guess that it's still in C major. But they definitely bump up the tempo. I put in the one that came off from the Hello City, which is about the same tempo as the one that was on Barenaked Recess, and it gave me 180 beats per minute.
That is lightning speed for the song.
That is fast.
It is, and you can tell. Man. Anyone that does listen, you're gonna know. You're gonna know, right? You're gonna notice two things when the Barenaked Ladies song starts. You're gonna notice, wow, there's a flute, and then you're gonna notice it's really fast. Yeah, that's the first thing you're gonna hear is that flute, which I do love. I love that they started with a flute.
And on the appearances
Steve is playing the flute. I didn't know he played the flute.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, nicely done, Steven. I wanted to have Aaron on just tonight, just so that way he could talk about the flute and the fact that Steven's playing the flute.
Yeah. A really, really unusual choice, but it works. I love it, and it sounds good on both the live version and also the Recess. It sounds good on both of them. It's a good choice for that flute to be there.
Well, and there's a great version where you actually get to see him playing it live, and you see him playing the flute live. I'm like, this is wonderful. I love this.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks great. It sounds great. Jim's on the double bass in that one, which is cool. Yeah, it's.
I actually kind of sit there and wish that Madonna's version had a flute now.
Yeah, right. In that live version, no, I don't see a keyboardist though. Was Andy?
Andy was.
There wasn't one there. Andy
there.
was. Oh, is that when he was overseas?
It must have been at the time that he was down in Uruguay.
Yeah, right.
Because he's not on Barenaked Recess or on the live version. Right.
That would have been interesting to hear what because B&L's always been known for their strong keyboard riffs and lines, and it's definitely a heart of the band, whether it was Andy or Kevin. But yeah, so that's weird not having that keyboard on this one.
Well, exactly, especially since it's such a synth-heavy song in the original.
Yeah, right.
So I'm sure Andy would have done something really kind of cool with it.
Yeah, definitely.
But we have what we have. And I like the fact that they bumped up the speed on it because makes it very playful.
Yeah.
And
they put their little touches in. I'm not anywhere near what I thought they would. Like in the live version, I expected them to throw out more stuff. They don't do a lot. They do throw out an occasional joke here that a line or a riff or that kind of thing. Not anywhere near what I thought they would, though.
No, they.
But they're definitely having fun with it.
Yeah, and I think that's important because, like I said, they're covering it very straight except fast, and so it makes it entertaining for the crowd. But I think this is more just kind of to pull the crowd in more than anything else.
Yeah, like I said, I think there's a little bit of a shock value factor here too, because there's something about a band playing a song you wouldn't expect them to play.
Right.
And, 4 Canadian men playing Madonna, and especially this song, and saying, I'm a material girl, there's a certain level of shock value there, too. And people are going to be like, and you're also attracting, to a certain extent, if you want to become a big band, even, if you're Canadian, for example, you want to get big in America. And that's a goal. Mm-hmm. And so playing an artist that was so iconic as an American artist, Madonna, for example, I think that makes sense.
And then they break out into Like a Prayer, or Steven. They continue it, but then Steven breaks out lyrically into Like a Prayer at the end.
Underneath it, yeah. Well, yeah.
Which is funny.
Yeah. Which I can see that. I mean, that's something that Weird Al does. That's something that a lot of artists do. When you're doing, I've done it, actually, when I did REO Speedwagon. When you're tributing or when you're paying homage to a band, whether the song is directly intentional, that it's fun to incorporate the show that, hey, this is really a tribute to this artist.
Yeah.
That little medley kind of thing, even if it's just a subtle little thing tucked in there. I know, like I said, I've put it in some of my stuff when I do it, whether it's like the Jesus Christ Superstar parody or the REO Speedwagon one. I know that, who else did I see? Like Weird Al's done it with like Red Hot Chili Peppers, somehow throwing a little bit of a twist on it to put an extra artist in there, or an extra song from that artist, I should say.
I don't like to come down on B&L songs or B&L covers. I will say that this is not their finest cover.
The trouble with Tracy is...
I can't put I'm having a hard time putting to words what it is that I don't like about their cover of this song. And I guess that's not that I don't like it. It's not that I dislike it. It's that I don't like it. It's not like, woo, I can't wait for this to come up.
I'm with you. It's not like, that's a great cover of that song. I really like how they mixed it up and they made it their own. Right. I mean, I think it would be, at least for me, it's hard to say that I'm really wowed by what they did. They didn't take the song and just make it their own and do something. And that's, to me, I mean, the covers can do that. And you can do a cover of a song and make it something that's new and different and as good or sometimes even better than the original.
Well, and 2 weeks ago we covered a song like that, and they did make it their own. And this is not that. This like if I were sitting in a concert with them doing their concert at the very beginning, and they covered this, I'd be like, cool, that's kind of funny. Like, that's fun. All right, cool. If they did that in one of their later date concerts, I'd be like, you have so many more songs that you could have covered, which I think is why it dropped to the wayside. They're like, yeah, we have other songs that we can do of our own now.
Right.
And I think they can now fill that spot, whereas earlier on, they're like, we got to put something in here. What's interesting? And they don't do anything different with it enough that I'm like, I want to hear that again. Is it something that I want to kind of recognize as out there? Yeah, because it's a fun cover, and it's kind of neat that they did it. Just like "Make My Heart Fly," like it's kind of a neat cover, but it's not "Lovers in a Dangerous Time."
Right, agree. It's not, or even last week with "Make My Heart Fly." No, I'm kidding. But I agree with you. It's not one that you're gonna say to someone, "Hey, you got to hear how Barenaked Ladies cover Material Girl." You know, if it comes on while you're playing a set list or a playlist or something like that, you might be like, we'll jam out to this.
Yeah, but I'll let it play through.
We'll let it play through. But we use the phrase, "Am I going to seek this out?" And I don't see myself seeking this out to go play it.
No.
Not to be hard on it, because they do a good job with the song, but they're going to do better covers, and they're obviously going to do way better original music that is more fun to listen to.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't have a ton more to add about this song. Are there any things that you wanted to add about this song?
Why does he shout out Michael Landon in the middle of the live version? Did I miss something there?
So I've listened to all of that recording. And that is the recording that they then released as the Hello City recording later on. No, they keep making these weird comments about people coming in from the back of the room. It's not Michael Landon. He's just, for some reason.
Sure. No, I wasn't thinking like we were, I was a teenage werewolfing or anything, like he just suddenly stood up in the crowd or,
Right.
But it just seemed like a really obscure, odd reference to come out of nowhere.
Yep. And they did that several times throughout this concert. And yeah, that was what that was.
Okay.
That was the amount of sense that it made.
Yeah, other than that, I do like the way the bridge, the arrangement of the harms on the bridge. I thought that was pretty clever. The living in a material world. They do a fun little alternating harm thing where they're not necessarily just going in thirds and everything. So it does. I do like the sound of that. I love Steven's growl on "Now They're After Me." I thought that was really cute. That was clever. The dancing, obviously, in the video when they start voguing, and Steven's, writhing, living on a praise, doing a Madonna dancing. There's stuff to like in this, but yeah, there's not so much more you can really say except it's a cover of Material Girl.
Right.
There's really not much. You really can't go much with flute.
Right. And there will be other songs. We are going to come across a few more covers, not a whole bunch. But we'll come across a few more covers. Some of them, I will say, are really spectacular to listen to. This just isn't one of those. But I think we also need to recognize, in pointing out ones like "When Doves Cry" or "Lovers in a Dangerous Time," that not every single song that they covered was spectacular. Like, yeah, some of the covers were just kind of all right. And this is one of those ones.
Mm-hmm.
Every song...
I think it served its purpose for the time. Yeah. I think for the band starting out and trying to get noticed, for that being in their set, it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it's about that time. Why don't we put some numbers to this?
Well, we kept referencing the Marilyn Monroe, obviously the parallels to the video and everything. So let's make this out of diamonds.
I was wondering if you were going to go.
We were going to do diamonds are a man's best friend. So let's do this out of 0 to 5 diamonds. Pay our own little tribute to Marilyn Monroe with this one.
Do you want to go first or should I?
No, you go first. I went first last week.
I'm not going to give a ton of information. I'm not going to go on forever, but because we've been sitting here talking.
We pretty
about
much did that already.
So comparing it to other covers that they've done, it's okay. So I'm going to give it an okay score. I'm going to give it a 2.75.
We're pretty close, actually. It's an average song. It's not a bad song. It's not a bad cover. It's Barenaked Ladies sounding great doing Madonna, but it's not. It doesn't have a high wow factor. They don't really mix it up more than adding the flute and speeding up the tempo and everything. Like I said, I'm not gonna go, man, I just really want to listen to that cover today while I'm driving. So it's an average song. I'm gonna, and not in a bad way, I'm gonna give it an average score. But maybe bump it up a little bit because of the flute, and I like that. I was gonna say 2.6.
All right, so we're pretty close.
So we were pretty close. We were pretty close with it.
Yeah. I'm going to have, of course, the 3 different versions to kind of listen to this week as our appearances, but I'm going to add an extra one. There is an episode of Strombo, House of Strombo, which is a radio episode which has them covering a bunch of different celebrating Canada's band, Tragically Hip. So we have KEvin playing the song Chancellor at 1 minute and 47 seconds. And then we have Ed and KEvin covering the song Ahead by a Century. And then later on, we have, again, Steven doing Honey Please at 2 minutes and 46 seconds.
Oh, that's cool.
So
very cool.
I'm guessing that's actually 2 hours and 46 minutes that comes up. So I would recommend seeking those out. I will have the connection in there, but I recommend listen to the whole concert because it really is a great concert of them do all these different artists covering the Tragically Hip, which is a great band. Well, it's about that time of the show that I dread, but I know it's coming every single week. You know it's coming every single week. It's just a matter of time.
That's it, isn't it? There, you stuck it in there. Yeah, matter of time.
Matter of time. Yeah.
Matter of time. It's a matter of time, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
We don't count the
a matter of time.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah,
it's only
we
a matter
always
of
come
time.
to this point in the show. It's the end.
The matter of time. Yeah, it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's our song next week?
A matter of time.
And
we'll see whether or not we like it.
We will see. We'll probably talk in depth about it.
At least
maybe we'll have the other half of the team here.
That would be amazing.
We can't carry all this weight ourselves, Tracy.
Well, if you
have you ever had to do an episode by yourself?
No.
Was there 1 week where like a period where nobody could join and you're just like, I guess I got to do this?
Nope, I would never do that.
All right.
I would never do that to our listeners. No, sorry.
So in all this time, you've never had... That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
So yeah, people want to get onto the internet and tell Stefan and Aaron they need to get back because they're sick of hearing us too. Then you can reach out to us and send those messages to barenakedabcs@gmail.com or reach us at barenakedabcs on Facebook or Twitter and let the guys know, you got to get back. You got to come back. We're sick of Tracy and Jeff.
We're just really tired of just listening to those two ramble on.
Yeah, exactly.
And they know nothing about music. Where's Aaron, for example, we'll say.
And where's the everyday man opinion?
Right, yes,
Stefan,
right. We're Stefan. We need the everyday, the man on the street opinion of this.
Exactly. Where else are you going to hear the fisherman's opinion?
Not these two pretentious boneheads. No.
Well, thank you for joining these two pretentious boneheads.
Yes, thank you, everyone. If you have any comments or anything, or you'd like to talk about Madonna or Barenaked Ladies or anything about the song, or you disagree with anything we say, please let us know in the comments. And let us know by email or on social media. Have a good night.
And thanks. That was fun.
Thanks, that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets, except maybe one.
Does
celebrate joining Pantheon Podcasts, Rock Camp, the podcast, the official podcast of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, is giving away a guitar signed by Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, Marty Friedman, formerly of Megadeth, and legendary shredder Zakk Wylde, plus our rockstar counselors like Vinny Appice, Monty Pittman, and more. To enter to win, simply follow, rate, and review our podcast on your preferred platform, and that's all you have to do. For more information, go to rockcamp.com/podcast.